I'm 81 years old. I spend most of my days back here now, leaning against this old wooden fence. It's quiet, but the silence isn't peaceful. It's heavy. When you get to my age, you don't look back and remember the promotions or the money. You remember the decisions you can't undo, the mistakes you thought were sensible when you were 45. If you're in your 40s or 50s right now, you are building a life. But are you building a life you actually want to live? Or are you just filling up a calendar? The painful truth is that the biggest regrets don't explode like a bomb. They don't give you a warning. They form slowly while you're busy providing and achieving. And by the time you feel their weight, you've run out of road. Let's talk about the first thing people get wrong. Autopilot. I look back at my middle years, and I see a man who was very good at his job, but very bad at being alive. Wake up, work, pay bills, repeat. I told myself it was discipline. I told myself the sacrifice was temporary. But later is a thief. Later is a lie you tell yourself so you don't have to face the truth today. At 45, I thought I had time. At 81, I know I didn't. Years don't just pass, they blend. Efficiency replaces presence. One day you look at your kids and they are grown, and you realize you weren't actually there for the best parts. You were there physically, but your mind was in a meeting or on a spreadsheet. You were managing a schedule instead of living a life. Is that you right now? Be honest. Are you actually in the room, or are you just waiting for the next thing on your to-do list? And then there's pride. This one is brutal. I've seen people hold on to arguments for 10 years that should have lasted 10 minutes. Waiting for an apology. Refusing to say I was wrong. Your ego feels like a shield when you're 50. At 81, that shield is just a cage. I've sat in this garden and realized that winning an argument with someone who is no longer here is the loneliest victory in the world. And the worst part, the person I lost, they didn't even know I wanted to fix it. I let them die thinking I was still angry. Was it worth it? No. It was a waste of a life. If you're holding a grudge right now, ask yourself, if they disappeared tomorrow, would your pride still feel this important? Let's talk about the validation trap. I spent 40 years trying to impress people I didn't even like. I wanted the title. I wanted the neighbors to nod when I drove by. I wanted to look successful. But applause is a whisper that dies the second you leave the room. Companies replace you before your desk is even cleared out. Your neighbors don't care about your car. They're too busy worrying about their own. At 81, all that external noise is gone. It's paper thin. What's left? The relationships you either nurtured or neglected. The scoreboard you're chasing is a lie. You're playing the wrong game. Stop trying to be someone for a world that will forget your name in a week. Be someone for the people who sit at your dinner table. And what about your joy? Most people treat happiness like a retirement fund. Something you get to enjoy after the kids graduate, after the mortgage is paid, after the promotion. You've turned your life into a future reward system. But life doesn't work that way. There is no magical day where responsibilities vanish and fulfillment begins. If you haven't learned how to find peace in a boring, ordinary Tuesday, you won't find it in retirement. You'll just be a stressed person with more free time. Happiness is a muscle. If you aren't using it now, it will be dead by the time you're my age. When was the last time you truly enjoyed a moment without thinking about what comes next? Now look at your body. At 50, you think you can negotiate with your health. You skip sleep. You ignore the stress. You treat your body like it's replaceable. It isn't. The body keeps a record of every time you chose work over rest. And at 81, the bill arrives. Physical debt has no mercy. You can't refinance it. At my age, wealth isn't a bank account. Wealth is being able to walk to this fence without pain. Don't trade your health for a career that will post your job opening before your obituary is even written. I also regret my silence. I stayed silent when I should have spoken up. I withheld "I love you" because I didn't want to seem weak. I lived as an edited version of myself because I wanted to be professional. What a waste. At 81, you realize that a safe life is a half-life. Don't wait until your voice is thin to finally speak your truth. Let people see the real you, the flaws, the mess, the passion. A contained life avoids conflict, but it also avoids depth. Time compounds. Everyone understands how money grows, but no one talks about how time multiplies. Small habits of neglect widen the gap in a marriage until it's a canyon. Small postponements of your dreams become permanent absences. At 45, 10 years feels like a long time. At 81, 10 years feels like a weekend. The perception shifts, and it happens faster than you think. The days you are rushing through right now, the ones you think are just stuff to get through, this isn't a rehearsal. This is the performance. There are no do-overs. If you're still here, you're not just watching a video. You're trying to avoid becoming this version of me. You're looking for a way out of the trap you've built for yourself. That's good. Awareness at 50 is a superpower. Awareness at 81 is just a memory. You still have leverage. You still have the energy to change the direction of your ship. Don't wait until you're sitting in a garden looking at a wooden fence to realize you spent your best years chasing ghosts. Subscribe to this channel. Not for me. For the version of you that is 30 years away. I'm going to keep telling you the truths that people your age are too busy to notice. Write in the comments which of these regrets made you feel the most uncomfortable. Don't just think it, type it. Acknowledging the truth is the only way to stop the autopilot. Time moves quietly, but the decisions you make this afternoon will echo for the next 3 decades. Do not wait for old age to simplify your life. Do it now. Put the phone down. Look at the person next to you. Say what needs to be said, because one day you will be where I am, and you won't care about being right. You won't care about being rich. You will only care about whether you were actually awake while your life was happening. Don't miss it.